All right, so here we're taking a look at the Blackmagic URSA Mini Pro 4.6K. It's the Filmpool's newest camera. It's our highest end camera. It's a pretty exciting piece of gear with a lot of cool features, and it's pretty rigged out, so I'm excited to take a look at it. So first things first, it is an EF lens mount that we have on this guy. And we have 5 lenses that go along with this camera. So we have a 28mm, a 35mm, a 50, an 85, and a 100, all prime lenses. And so you will rent the lenses separately from the camera. At the front, just on top of the lens mount, is the ND filter toggle. So there are 3 built-in ND filters. So on the front left, you're going to have a record button and 2 customizable function buttons, as well as the high frame rate button to toggle between your project frame rate and a high frame rate, and then physical toggles for your ISO, shutter speed, and white balance color temperature. There's a toggle here, so you can set either your headphone volume with that wheel, your monitor volume with that wheel, and if you had lenses that supported it, you could adjust your iris, but ours are fully manual lenses, so that's not a functioning service. The lock button just disables all of this stuff so that once you have it set, nobody can accidentally change it. You have an LED screen that'll show you your time code and various settings such as your frame rate, your shutter speed, your iris, things like that. There's a lock function for these buttons as well. You can press this button just to take a still frame. You can adjust your time code, hold your time code, change the brightness of the screen, change the monitor volume of your audio channels, some playback buttons, as well as focus peaking, and again a non-functioning iris button. Opening up, you can see the LCD screen on the side. As well, there's another record button in there, more playback buttons, again focus peaking, an adjustment. This is where you'll get into the menu to really change up your settings. Turning on or off phantom power for your audio inputs, and switching between mic line or AES. And here is where traditionally your CFast cards would go in, but of course we use an SSD converter with SSD drives, so this is just where the adapter will plug in. And in the middle there are 2 slots for SD cards if you're doing some higher codec shooting, lower resolution, and higher compression. Powering the camera on is done with this physical switch at the top. At the back is a V-mount plate where you put on the V-mount batteries. You will have 2. And the D-tap port here is where you will plug in the SSD to CFast adapter. Some SDI ports for the EVF or an external monitor that you may want to use, as well as the 4-pin XLR for the AC adapter. So the Velcro on the side is where we'll attach the SSD adapter, as well as a front SDI out with 12 volt. And so this is where the EVF plugs in, and it'll attach to the top of the camera. And this will be the LANC input for if you're using the record button on the shoulder harness that we have with this unit. So at this end of the case, you're going to get the, it's sort of a shoulder mount, tripod mount hybrid, so it can attach to a tripod head, and it also has a shoulder mount so that you can switch between handheld and tripod seamlessly. You'll get a follow focus for the shoulder rig. You'll get a viewfinder, the Blackmagic electronic viewfinder, 2 long rods as well as 2 short rods for attaching accessories to the shoulder rig. You're going to get the 4-pin AC adapter for plugging in, the SSD dock for transferring the footage from the drives onto your computer when you're done shooting. You're going to get 3 SSD drives, 480 gigabytes each, And then, so this is sort of what's unique to our kit that isn't part of the default Blackmagic camera system. So as I said, traditionally the Blackmagic shoots to CFast cards, but CFast cards are still in a place where they're very expensive for a very small amount of storage. SSD is still much more affordable. So this adapter, which attaches to the right side of the camera body via strong Velcro, so you'll put in your SSD cards into the front, and then you'll plug the cables into the CFast ports on the camera. It does require its own external power, which will plug into the V-mount plate on the back of the camera, and then it does have to be powered on the side. I did talk to the manufacturer of the adapter when I purchased these drives. It's guaranteed to never overheat, never be any dropped frames. So these drives are made to work with this adapter and this particular camera to be flawless. In the second kit, you're going to get 2 V-mount batteries as well as the charging dock for those V-mount batteries. There's going to be a couple of pieces that attach to the shoulder rig, and you're going to get the map box as well. And then we're in flux a little bit with one of our accessory kits. So this won't be loose when you get it, it'll be in a case. But the other cables you're going to get, the USB to SATA for the hard drive dock. You're going to get 2 AC adapters, one for the V-mount charger and one for the power brick. And then you're going to get a 4-pin XLR cable. And what that does is the V-mount battery charger can also be used as an AC adapter. So if for whatever reason, instead of using the brick, you want to use the V-mount charger as your AC adapter, you can use the 4-pin XLR for that. You're also going to get your AC to D-tap, which is how you power the SSD converter. You're going to get the power solution for the SSD charger. You're going to get 2 LANC cables, which enables you to use the record function on the shoulder rig. And then you're just going to get various Allen keys and screws for the shoulder mount plate and the EVF, attaching that to the camera. And so that's a brief overlook at the Blackmagic URSA 4.6K. Yeah, one of our coolest pieces of gear at the Filmpool.